Thanks, Owen. Brave of you probably to compliment me before I do my speech, though. Folks, I know the dinner is waiting and Dane was running the clock, but as you mentioned, Owen, I have a few words prepared, but I'll keep it short. It has been great, though, and by the way, I'm holding my own microphone. It's been great through this. It's been great for this that nobody has been watching these speeches through the record function on their iPads. But some of you might have seen those videos up on YouTube of all the funny wedding speeches and stuff, and if you have, well, maybe you might have watched the same ones that I have. If so, you'll have heard all this material already. And regardless, please just start by lowering your expectations. But seriously, I'm very honoured that Owen has asked me to be his best man here today at his wedding with Laura, and also that Laura let him. When I first met Owen, he was a sober young man with a full head of hair, and just look at him now, 24 hours later. I've known Owen for about 10 years now. We met at DCU working on a thing we called Red Brick, and what those of you who weren't there might refer to as the Computer Nerd Society. Owen spent many years working hard at DCU, occasionally on things related to his degree. After college, when I found myself between jobs, he set me up with a meeting with his boss. I think Brian's kind of hiding in the corner now, embarrassed. There didn't seem to be any specific job opening, but they agreed to keep me on for a few months. That was 6 years ago. Not long after this, we moved in together. So, some background here, right? It's 2011, and there's two other guys that live in this house. And going to be 5, 6, 7 years out of home, we've almost figured out how to take care of ourselves. Almost. But then, like this guy with absolutely no clue shows up. Someone needs to explain to him that you don't wait until all your jeans are dirty to do a jeans wash. And that if you don't rinse the Weetabix off the bowl at the end, it turns kind of hard like concrete. So, Laura, you're welcome. I also tried to explain to him that spaghetti bolognese shouldn't taste that strongly of carrot and coriander. But it seems he just doesn't like the taste of tomatoes. Traditionally, a big part of the best man speech is embarrassing the groom. And I've tried. But despite knowing Owen so well, it's hard to come up with any genuinely embarrassing events. I even tried crowdsourcing this with our former housemates, and the worst they would accuse you of was watching Doctor Who eating ice cream in a dressing gown. Daily. If you know Owen at all, then you probably already know that he is one of the most decent, generous, and reliable friends you could ever have. Something that I'll always remember is that when I was learning to drive, rather than quickly spinning down the motorway into the office, Owen would come over to my house and then endure the trip through the traffic with me driving, just so I get in extra practice time. Actually, the first time I ever really drove anywhere was over to IKEA. This was in Ornet's old car from our house in Inchicore. The battery in the car wasn't great. But we went to the shop, we came back out, and the car wouldn't start.
Been there.
Nothing, of course, to do with the 4 times I'd stalled trying to park the thing. I called Owen. He came right down. Of course, once he got there, the damn car started just fine. Absolute first time. But he didn't seem too put out being dragged out for nothing. So you see why when Owen asked me to step out of retirement for one day only, I couldn't refuse. Owen, stop trying to read what's coming up next off this. If you know Owen at all, then you know these things, but if all you know of Owen is that he is nice and maybe he also helped you out that time, I guess I could forgive you for thinking that Owen is perhaps a little boring. But Owen's a harder guy to figure out than that. There's a childish madness in him. The kind that needs to be told not to play with fire. And not to put Damo in the boot of your car. Owen still manages to surprise me. And myself and Andy coordinated our speeches a little bit. He asked me what I was going to talk about, and I said, well, listen, I think this is the only place we'll overlap. We don't need to worry. Like, we only met each other a few times. And I've got different stories. And I genuinely have this written. Just last week, I learned that Owen has a very detailed knowledge of the movie Love Actually. But despite his family's great love for this movie, he cannot tell the difference between Scarlett Johansson and Claudia Schiffer. Last night we were up in the room there preparing for today, and I told Owen a joke that I'd seen online. It seemed appropriate for the day that's in it, and it went, what did Jay-Z call his girlfriend before they got married? Beyonce. And he chuckled a bit, but then he asked, is he the one married to Beyonce? There's just certain popular culture things that seem to bypass Owen. Has anyone ever got a lift with Owen in his car? Yeah, those are all my CDs in the car. I started leaving them there after he mistook Hell's Bells by AC/DC for The Angelus. In his defense though, he listened to the CDs. Well, I put them on and he had to. But Owen's never afraid to try something new. For most people, going to work every day and organising a wedding around that would be enough to keep busy. But Owen has also spent the last 2 months taking canoeing lessons. And of course, when some of our friends decided to try something called the roller derby, it didn't take Owen long to try on some skates. On his first outing, he fell, sprained his wrist, and swore off this dangerous activity. Until he went back. Now, I don't want to say that Owen signed up to get involved with a women's sporting team just to meet women.
I meant to say that, Randy, but I forgot. But anyway.
Would you like a redo? But it does really seem to have worked out for him. You can clap for that. When Owen first said he was seeing someone, I was happy for him. But then, as she always seemed unavailable for us to meet, after a while I had to consider if she was, well, imaginary. When I finally met Laura though, it was quickly clear to me that we would become great friends. Laura has a creative enthusiasm and an openness about her that brings out the best in you, Owen. I remember the day well, as Owen mentioned, the day he told me that he was going to marry Laura. And I just thought, well, wow, that's a bit soon. Luckily for once though, I managed to stop myself from opening my big mouth, because I've seen how well you both work together, and how happy you make each other. So, in closing, I would like to propose a toast to Mr. and Mrs. Connor and Murray the dog. Can you please be upstanding? Folks, I wish you a lifetime of health, wealth, happiness, and love. Ladies and gentlemen, to the bride and groom.